My friends, welcome to the inaugural episode of the Nuclear Heatwave Wrestling Podcast, brought to you by the Mafia Sports Report. And I do want to thank a good shout out to Tom for giving me and my co-host here, Sauce Bronson, a shot at, talking about shooting it about wrestling with all you guys. I'm Dr. Love. And pretty much in wrestling, any and all kinds of wrestling things. So this weekend, though, I'm pretty sure we had a huge weekend of wrestling, if I do say so myself. Saturday, we had SummerSlam, one of the big four usually in wrestling when it comes to WWE. And it turned out to be a pretty good show. What do you think, Sauce?
Yeah, appreciate you, Doc. Actually, it was pretty good. Actually, not only was it a good weekend in wrestling, but we actually had a pretty good week considering, all the things that's happened. But SummerSlam, it's one of the big four. It's one of the pay-per-views that, as a wrestling fan, we're supposed to care about. So, for the most part, going into it, considering, the changes, everything that's been going on, I actually was looking forward to it. And so, to give y'all, just a little context, I hosted a little party. A little SummerSlam party, got a couple of boys together. And even as a host running around and, make sure everybody's fine, the parts of SummerSlam I did catch. Actually, everything I caught, I wasn't mad at. I did finally get to a point where I did, sit down and enjoy the show. But I did catch the opener. I caught a little bit here, a little bit of there. But for the most part, oh, yeah. Definitely enjoyed the SummerSlam show. And then there was an old man who decided to wrestle one last time, and we'll get into that later. But we're one step at a time. So Doc, what you got for us?
Well, with that show, there was some pretty good matches on that card. In all, whether there was a title match or there was just a surprise. And one of the first things I got to say is that Logan Paul. This is like the third time we've seen him versus The Miz. And I don't know about you. I'm a Miz fan, always have been. Just he's great on the mic.
Oh, yeah.
Great on the mic.
Oh, yeah. I say all the time when it comes to The Miz is our generation's Roddy Piper. Like, he shows up. He gets people involved. You love to hate him. You watch every week for someone to punch him in his face. Yeah, he's great on the mic. And the great thing about Miz, at this point, he's had 2 world title runs, but he's so good that you really don't remember much of him. Like, obviously, you remember the first one when he beat John Cena. What was that, Mania 27, I believe?
It was right after Mania. I believe it's Backlash or the pay-per-view after that.
Well, no, he beat him in the main event.
Remember? Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, he retained the title. I apologize.
Yeah, because that was the one. Well, to give you for those who don't remember, that was the one that the Rock hosted.
Yes, WrestleMania 27. I believe that's what it was.
Yeah, so 27. And even that's probably like his biggest support. As far as like his main title reign. But the guy is so great on the mic. his wrestling. I mean, when you in WWE, as long as you got a pretty decent wrestling set and you good on the mic, that's all you need. But yeah, he's like I will defend it to the day I die. That
Absolutely.
he is our generation's Piper.
I mean, he's definitely a character coming from someone that started out on, the real world, the real world, then going on to the challenge and having his own character. Yeah, of course. So now he goes into a match with basically larger than life Logan Paul. And then Logan Paul, for most wrestling fans, they look at a celebrity, they don't think they can actually, it's more of a gimmick. But he came out there, and I'm not gonna lie, he looked good. I mean, he made all the right moves. He did these high flying moves that just kind of. I mean, I don't know. I was surprised, and I've seen other wrestlers that have been wrestling for a few years that are sloppier in the ring, and So I liked it. I was pleasantly surprised with the match. So.
Oh yeah, that dude, like Logan Paul. Say what you want to say about him, and this is not that time and place for what he does outside the ring. But as far as like just him in the ring, like he was made for this. He was definitely made for this. Like his wrestling, his mic work, and so on and so forth. I will say this: Logan Paul is one Canadian destroyer away from being probably the best like celebrity wrestler in WWE. Just one. I'm telling you, one Canadian destroyer away.
Well, Bad Bunny already got him on that, so we'll see. We might see it eventually, but we'll see. That's kind of funny.
I mean, at this point, the only thing that he could do to top Bad Bunny, he will have to. You know what? He will have to. It's only one other man that did this move. He will have to do a stretch muffler. What was it called? The stretch muffler crab, the one that Brock Lesnar did on poor Rey Mysterio.
Oh no! Yep. Oh Lord, oh Lordy, yeah, that would be something else to see, actually. But moving on with the match. Well, actually, no. Let's see. Just in general, if you had to give that a rating, Sauce, what rating would you give that off the top of your head?
Actually, you know what? I would definitely say I'll give it 3 out of 5 headlocks. Just a few headlocks.
I like that. I give
it 3 out of 5 headlocks because they did with exactly what they're supposed to do. They went out there, they wrestled, and they entertained. And as a fan, you have to, as a fan, they did their job as far as keeping you invested. So they did what they were supposed to do. And I mean, I wasn't disappointed.
I like it. All right. Now, one end of the spectrum to another. Then you have like Pat McAfee, who's great on the mic, great hype man versus Happy Corbin. And, we won't spend too long on this, but what did you think about this, Sauce?
So, once again, I'm a big fan of Corbin. Actually, this is the best version of Corbin that I think we've seen. I know some people beg different. They want him to be like this monster heel or whatnot. That's been tried and true. We've seen it over and over. He's not the Big Show. He's not the Great Khali. He's not Kane. He's not Undertaker. He's Corbin. So the fact that they went from that to make him, a cowardly heel, it works best.
All right. So you're saying you did not like him as King Corbin or Olive Garden host Corbin?
Hey,
he's like black shirt and black pants.
Hey, listen, we're not gonna hate on we're not gonna hate on Olive Garden Corbin, okay? Because when he shows up on TV, you family, okay?
Oh gosh. So how many headlocks would you give that match?
Actually, once again, because they do what they're supposed to do, I'll get at about I'll definitely get at about 3 out of 5 headlocks.
Okay, all right.
And then and then just on the side note, I'm just checking out the chat for a moment. And shout out to Simple Toulon, pair character doing a shaker sign with his hand saying "cool." Hey, you gotta let those sign guys, okay? Especially WWE, it's a handful of them. And
absolutely,
yeah. Then Mr. Griffin. He feels like he's top Bad Bunny. I'll give you that. Because, I mean, at least with Bad Bunny, I'll say difference between Logan Paul versus most other celebrities, I would say it's like Logan Paul has fully embraced it. Like, it's almost like he wants to be a wrestler versus the other guys who are doing it, because they like wrestling. But what's his name? Logan, it's still like when he came out the womb, he was supposed to be in that ring.
Oh, absolutely.
Mm.
I mean, he already has the charisma. He's got the physique. I mean, yeah, he absolutely looked great in the ring. Just some a little more training, and then he could be on. I mean, he already signed the deal, so I'd be interested to see him in the future. I do like it.
Gotcha.
Broke Corbin was amazing from Griffin. Yeah, Broke Corbin. I see. I like Broke Corbin better than Happy Corbin. It's just for some reason it worked. It really did.
And that's the thing. At the end of the day, it works. Like I'm sure there's been other wrestlers who has tried that gimmick and they went from mid card to future endeavor. But for some reason, it was Baron Corbin with his personality. Like he makes it work. Like he just does.
Absolutely. Well, just moving on, just with some other matches on this card. Like Bobby Lashley versus Austin Theory. Austin Theory trying to regain the U.S. title. At this point, Austin Theory, without McMahon, him retiring now, his golden boy.
Yeah.
It's a very interesting match. To me, it was very one-sided, and that's on purpose almost, I feel. Because everyone's assuming a cash-in's going to happen, something like that. But I didn't like it. I wasn't really the biggest fan. I just think that Austin Theory's I like him as a wrestler, but I just didn't think them worked well together. And that's two great wrestlers. So I don't know what you think, man, about that.
Well, I mean, as far as the Bobby Lashley and the Austin Theory match, I'm giving that. We'll get at about 2 headlocks out of 5.
That sounds about good.
I mean, it was like they came out, they did what they were supposed to do, and it was just like me personally. Austin Theory, he almost had like that McMahon stigma, where the future when Vince he announces to the world that this guy's the future, this guy who you're supposed to care about, and then all of a sudden the audience hates him.
Absolutely. Immediate nuclear heat. I mean, what can I say?
Elijah Burke.
Exhibit Burke.
A. Oh. Let's say
now you mean DJ, right? From Street Fighter? And I'm like, what can I say? But no, and you can go as far and say as Drew McIntyre when he first debuted. Now that's different, obviously, because he left. He went to TNA Impact, got better, and then he came back, and now obviously it worked out for him. But before, same thing. It was hard to like somebody when McMahon himself said, "This is my guy."
Yeah. Yeah.
So
it could be. That's the thing about wrestling fans. Wrestling fans is too smart for that. You would have thought by the third time, but because McMahon, Vince is so stubborn, set in his ways, is like the audience is not stupid. The audience likes who they likes. So at the end of the day, but yeah, as far as that match goes, that's what I would call one of the few bathroom break matches that happened. We knew going in that Bobby was going to keep the belt and Austin Theory's going to go back. Time out, do his thing, go back to being, the WWE's new whipping boy. So,
I think at that point during the match, I was getting food from your kitchen. I think I'm not positive.
I think everybody's getting food from my kitchen at that point.
Absolutely. Going on to some of these other matches, then we have the Raw Women's Title match with Bianca Belair versus Becky Lynch that opened the show. And that match was fire. I will say it was actually a really good match. Honestly, I thought Becky Lynch was going to win the whole time. I didn't think and Becky Lynch ended up separating her shoulder in the match. And
which is crazy because I had no idea that even happened.
Nope, we didn't know until we looked it up later. It was crazy. So, yeah, it was a very good match all in all. And again, open up. You want a good hot match to get your crowd really into it. So I liked it. I'm not gonna lie though. I'll take the rating on this. In my opinion,
okay.
I would give that easily 4 headlocks.
Oh yeah,
out of 5.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
easily.
Yeah.
So easily. Now going on a little bit, you have the Mysterios versus the Judgment Day group. Now
another bathroom break match.
No, well. Yeah, yes and no. I mean, I like Judgment Day, especially now that Finn Balor's got more to do. That's always a good thing. And Rhea Ripley,
I give you that.
she can do whatever she wants, honestly. But I feel like Damian Priest, this is also kind of a good thing for him because he's been slow building since he's been here. Since he came from the Indies as Punishment Martinez, and then he went to NXT under another, NXT name that ends up being okay for him. He's finally kind of got this heel persona that can work. And with Finn Balor and them, we'll just see. If they actually keep them together for long term. If they just break them up, then it might not work that well. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel like when it comes to Priest, I feel like he had a decent run as far as we got to the main roster. He had a U.S. title reign on him for a while, and I feel like I don't know for some reason like this heel
NWO for life. Yep, you got it right, baby. You got it.
And for some reason, it's when you put him as a heel, it's like I don't think it's him. It's creative that's the issue because it's like they don't know what they want to do with him as far as a heel. Because first it was Edge protege, then they got the group, and then now he's teaming with Balor, and then he's just there. Right now he's just there.
He's like the muscle. You have like a team that's like one's the muscle, one's the wrestler of the mic. You know what? Now
that you put it that way, okay, I can see it better that way. Because for a while, it was just to me, he was just like there. He was like just a just there to be there. But
he's better now. Yeah.
But as far as that match, I'm giving that match about 2 headlocks as well, and not because of Balor and Priest. I mean, the match was decent. It's like Mysterio and Dominic, and it's almost like now they're the ones that's supposed to put on every other tag team. At this point, when I see Mysterio and his son, I just think Sunday Night Heat is coming out, and I just got to sit there and just deal with this for like 10 minutes.
Yeah, people just want Dominic to turn on him now. They just want it to happen. They want it to be over with and then let them do what they want. But
I will say
that's a good rating though. Yeah. That's a good rating.
I will say though with Mysterio, this is probably since he's been back with his son, him being a tag team, I think is a good look for him. Because this is probably the longest Mysterio has been wrestling. I mean, because as far as injuries, whatever, since
for sure,
I think this is probably his longest run in about 10 years just wrestling.
When he was hurt. When he was actually full time in WWE. I mean, he left and because he had so many injuries, and then he basically semi-retired. He still was doing stuff, and then he showed up a couple times Royal Rumble here and there. But I've been surprised too that he's still wrestling kind of in a sense full time. So, but yeah, I understand that. Going on with that pay-per-view though, the other women's title match, Liv Morgan, Ronda Rousey. Everyone loves Ronda Rousey.
Oh my God! Like in my mind, it's a bathroom break match, but the only reason
I think that was your exact words too.
It was.
And you were like, "Bye, peace."
Listen. I would not shy away. I probably did mention it about 3 or 4 or 6 times, but the only reason why I just sat there because it was in my mind, it wasn't her losing the title. It was going to be how Liv was going to lose the title. Because I was expecting Ronda to walk out. Because with Ronda, it's the thing with Ronda is she has how do I put this? Since she first came into WWE, her first year was probably the longest I would say the first 6 months probably the longest she went without a strap. So then once she won it, it's like every time she showed up, she either had the title or she was chasing the title. So
absolutely.
It was just weird that all of it, I just thought it would be weird that Ronda takes a couple weeks off, and then she comes back. I just didn't see her coming back just to lose.
Well, that's the thing too, is like she already has been doing semi-heel promo. So it's like we're waiting for her to fully go heel, and we did see that at the end of the match. The controversy of them ending. She was pinned, but she made her tap out the same time.
Oh, yeah.
And after that, she then armbarred her more, and then in a sense became a full heel. But it's like you still come out slapping hands with fans. That's not a heel. I'm sorry, that's not a heel thing to do. But it's just people. The match was sloppy. I feel bad for Liv Morgan because Liv absolutely has earned this role, this right to be champion. But then you put her in a match.
I'm definitely sold on her.
Yeah, and you put her in a match with Ronda, who is still green, and she's never going to get much better than that. She has learned some things, but she still wants that wrestling aspect. Where she wants to fight you in a wrestling style, and sometimes it's going to work, but most of the time it looks sloppy. So
yeah, it's like with Ronda, it's like at this point, just turn her heel, and this is how you do it. Go ahead, have her show up on SmackDown, and have her go on a quick little rant, and then let you know that she's healed, and then maybe go out and go backstage, beat up a few female wrestlers. So the way I would do Ronda is I would turn her into kind of like a female Brock Lesnar, a female Brock where she's treated like a main attraction. She just does her thing, does like 8-minute matches. Whatever her version of Suplex City is, I don't know, armbar Ville, I don't know. But at that point, because I feel like if you make it, because some people's like, well, you should give her a mouthpiece. If you just have her turn heel and just have her just talk normal, just talk like Ronda. Hey, listen, I'm Ronda. I'm the baddest bitch here. And I've done this and that, and I'll beat up anybody and check my track record. Just talk smack. Almost kind of like she can kind of speak like a female Taz in ECW days. Where he used to come in and say, I'll put everybody here to sleep.
Yep. And then that would work. That would work, but just don't do it and then have her look weak, but then have your champion look even worse,
Yeah.
So it's like, where are they going to go after this? Now you did that to your women's champion. So, they're either setting up for a rematch or they're whatever they're going to do with it. But the match itself, unfortunately, was pretty sloppy, so I don't know.
I'm giving that one headlock out of 5. I know they're going to do a rematch, but I really don't want to see it again.
But shout out to Will Hunter, James Ellsworth reference. Now that's funny. And also, Bailey. Yes, Bailey. We noticed Bailey. We really did.
We'll get into that in a minute, and then and then for Mr. Griffin, in no way thought Ronda was going to win, but I didn't know how they were going to keep the strap on Liv. Which is a good point. Obviously, some people thought she was going to win or whatnot. I guess this was kind of the perfect ending for her. I mean, for that match, because you didn't want to make Ronda look weak, but also you didn't want Liv to get, fully destroyed. So
there you go. Moving on. Then you have the tag team. One of the last time ever. I'm the one saying that, but like Street Profits, Usos again. Now they're fire. I mean, they have good matches. Do you think, Sauce, that the Street Profits should have won this match?
So before I get into that,
okay.
I just want to read one more super chat, and then we'll fully get in.
Absolutely.
From D-Town Guy J, Ronda equals paint drying. Listen, that's disrespectful to paint, okay?
Yeah, look right here. Look, see right here. I need paint. I don't want to put Ronda paint on that. No.
But with that being said, as far as so we know it's going to happen eventually. Well, because I didn't watch them much in NXT, but when they was on the main roster, and Paul Heyman actually did a really good job of bringing them up because he didn't he knew that at least Montez was gold on the mic, and and not to slight to Dawkins. Dawkins actually isn't too bad either, but Heyman was smart with them because at that time, nothing wasn't really going on with the tag division, on Raw.
Not really. No.
So what they would do just have them talk backstage. And the way I liked it was with Paul, what he did, he made you invested every week. He'd be like, "Hey, who's these guys? Hey, these guys kind of cool." And then the next couple weeks, hey, as weeks go on, you become more and more invested. And when I saw, it was that it was when they first won the tag belts. I looked at Montez Ford. I said, that man is going to be, with his charisma, that man will be the next Shawn Michaels. Y'all heard it here first.
Yeah, he's definitely, if I had to say the best out of the two, for sure Montez, but Dawkins definitely, they work really well together. And some tag teams are like that. Sometimes you get two completely different wrestlers, put them together, and they work really well together. They complement each other on their move set, and that's where their matches are great. The Usos obviously already are just great together anyways, but this match was one that it could have went either way, but I was a little disappointed because their Money in the Bank match was a better match than this one.
Okay,
not by much, but it was a better match. But I'd still give this match at least, I don't know. To me personally, 4. I'd say 4, 3.75. So.
Well, this match, they came in, they tore the house down. It was a show stealer as it was supposed to be. So they definitely getting 4 headlocks from me.
I like it.
4 headlocks. I was fully invested from the moment the bell rung until when it was done. And if anything, too, this shows that you got to put Usos in your top 10 of all time.
All right.
Because you've seen what they did with the Profits. You've seen what they did with New Day. And then, let's not forget, them and New Day used to tear the house down.
Yep. Actually, speaking of New Day, we got another chat here where from a D-Town guy saying, they did the right by letting Usos win and not break up, but go the New Day route. So,
yeah,
see, just like, and that's absolutely correct. That's a really good way to put it, actually.
Yeah, I agree because they could have just did the cliche, just break up right then and there and whatnot. But it's like now they're teasing us because if y'all noticed, Montez Ford has been working out a little bit more now too. Now,
yes, absolutely on that one. And they had a pretty good entrance though. Can't say too much about it though on this channel, I feel, because their entrance, their outfits and such from Indianapolis and such like that. But anyways,
you actually brought up a good idea what they should do. Let's say if they put it off for 6 months, you came up with a great merch idea for them. You remember what it was?
You're talking about the different sports with the logo? Yep, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, because it's perfect. You can have it look similar enough to each place you're at, and you could sell merchandise based off of that. And if one thing WWE loves to do is sell merch, and John Cena with all his different colored shirts, Brock Lesnar with any variation of his logos, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But absolutely. Oh, another chat here by D-Town guy. Oh, well, we have Will Hunter here. I do like the Street Profits are crime time of 2022.
Yeah, and that's what. And when it comes to Street Profits, I tell people, I was like, they're nothing like Crime Time.
No, and now mind you, I like Crime Time, and Sauce likes Crime Time, but they are definitely not the same type of wrestling. But I am a fan.
So for you guys, who the Street Profits remind me of? Like they remind me more of the kind of like the Rockers.
That's a good way to put it. That's actually a really good way to put it. I feel, the real hungry young team, they'll do anything in a sense, whether they're high flying moves or they're just basic mat wrestling. So yeah, it's a good way to put it. I like that. But let's see. Going on. Oh yeah. I feel like this match, the fans were flipping out. Yes, I have several puns. Maybe we should have a little pun counter up here once in a while for this match. But it only took 7 years for Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar to have an entertaining match.
You don't say.
So for the undisputed Universal WWE Championship match, the longest title ever, last man standing.
And they're fighting for the Mega Bowl.
Flint, Michigan Mega Bowl. Yep. Flint, Michigan Mega Bowl.
So with this, I understand that people, they get exhausted with seeing the same wrestlers over and over. Because especially the prime example, Cena versus Orton. Like we saw that so many times. I think they've, it's crazy. It's crazy to say, but I think they've had more matches than there's been Fast and Furious movies.
That's pretty accurate. I would say so.
I mean, I might be wrong, but
and they had some good matches, but then they just kept doing them and had so many in the same year. Let alone, it just kept going. And fun fact, Orton was supposed to be facing Roman Reigns in this match at SummerSlam if he didn't have to have surgery for his back. So
would you have seen Orton whipping as far as the tractor to the ring?
No, absolutely not. We would have gotten a pretty generic match. It might not have even been last standing. It would have just been some kind of match.
I'm saying he wouldn't have rode down the ramp with he wouldn't have been on the giant Viper. I'm just saying,
I wish, you know what? Now I kind of want to see it. I want to see it now. I want to see that.
All right, book it, Triple H 2023. Let's go.
Let's go.
But as far as the match goes, I mean, come on, it's Roman, it's Brock, it's a car wreck. That's 4 That's 4 out of 5 headlocks for me.
Oh, for sure. I mean, at one point you could. How many times we were drinking every time a suplex happened, a finishing move, a signature move, a WTF moment. I mean, we were pretty much. We were pretty drunk. We were already drunk. I started thinking about it that way. So
yeah, so we had these little drinking games that Doc over here likes to. When he hosts his events, and there's 2 Brock drinking games that we always do. First one is suplexes. How many suplexes is going to happen? And then 2, then the second drinking game involved is we set a time limit, over under, and then whoever's
closest without going over wins.
The people, that too, but there's another one where say there's a match goes by 8 minutes, so whoever is below. If you guess below, you don't drink, but everybody above drinks. Yeah, it's just it's all the stupid drinking games we all play and that we all do because wrestling fans.
Oh yeah, for sure. It makes it pretty fun. But with this match, once he had the tractor out, we're like, okay, what's happening on the tractor? He used it first and foremost. He jumped off of it, which was way higher than the top ring, which I was shocked a little bit. And then he puts Roman in the bucket. Dumps him out, of course. And then, of course, at the end of the whole match, at first I thought maybe he's going to hit the ring, just like Austin did with the Zamboni years ago at Joe Louis Arena, of course. Yeah. And and then he lifts it up, and I'm sitting, and I have, I've worked tractors like that. My parents own a tractor similar to that. And the fact that he lifted this up was ridiculous. We've seen Brock Lesnar destroy the ring with Big Show, where they tore it on SmackDown like 10 years ago. And then we've seen, 20 years ago at this point.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah.
That was his first run.
His first run, yes. But now seeing this happen, oh my gosh, it was a sight to see, At that point, the match anything else could have happened in the match, and it would have been great. And there was still a match going on. Austin Theory tries to cash in, and no one cared at that point because it's like, no, it's all went to carnage. But it made it an entertaining match. Again, 7 years. It took 7 years, and they finally had an entertaining match.
And now it's finally over. Thank God, at least for now, until they do it one more time.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, but Lesnar is retiring.
Mm-hmm.
And until the paycheck comes, and let's go.
Oh, yeah. real quick, I want to bring it. Actually, Mr. Hunter actually brought up an interesting point that we actually forgot. So during the tag match, the Ray match, Edge comes back, was confusing. After all the vignettes, he shows up as normal Edge with no one with him and nothing special. Where's the new Brood? Well, it's funny because I made a joke about that when he came back. I said, okay, so us wrestling fans, we're supposed to forget that he was a heel. That he was supposed to be a heel. That he was a heel like 2 weeks ago.
Literally, it was literally like, so soon they do so many vignettes, and of course it's going to be Edge. Like, who else could it have been? He does come up with the fire and the glasses, and then other than that, he basically was Edge. I got a new shirt, got some merch, got a new shirt, ran to the ring, helps him out. You're just setting up for a 6-man intergender match or something, or just for and that's okay, Edge. But I just feel like Edge deserves more. When he came back originally, he had a great match here, a couple matches, and then he got hurt, and that really put a damper on his run.
Yep.
So, and now when he came back again, he had okay, AJ Styles,
Seth Rollins.
Seth Rollins. I mean, come on. But what are you going to do now? What is Edge like? What's the end game for him? Because he's not here long term. I mean, he'll be done by next year. Maybe next WrestleMania. Who knows?
I know we're jumping a little bit all over the place right now, but I'm gonna swing back. I'm gonna swing back towards the Brock match with the tractor. When I saw that tractor come out, I just saw a missed opportunity that could have happened 10, 12 years ago. And his name was Jimmy Yang Wang, and he was a cowboy farmer.
Oh my God!
Imagine Jimmy Yang Wang showed up with that tractor. He would have made it at WrestleMania by now. I'm just saying.
Well, much better than when he was with WCW and he was a part of the Young Dragons, But hey, there it is. What can I say? But yeah, all in all, the pay-per-view, I would give it as a total pay-per-view. I'd say 4.5 headlocks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but that's what I would give it.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that. So would you say 4 headlocks and a chest slap then?
Yep. So let's see. We got 4 headlocks and a chest slap.
Yep.
So hold on. We talking about a Big Show chest slap?
No, we talking Ric Flair. A Big Show slap. That's like 2 headlocks put in there.
Kofi Kingston knows that. He knows that one for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But you made a good point there, saying that that's going to be about Ric Flair. Now we get into Sunday. Yep, I know you're so thrilled. Sauce, you're thrilled because Ric Flair's last match pay-per-view extravaganza would have been a tour, not anymore. Just the last pay-per-view. So we're not going over the rest of the pay-per-view. It was our okay, semi-good here and there. You can look it up. We're here because of one man, Ric Flair's last match. This is, I think, the second time this has happened. But it was a tag team match, him and his son-in-law, Andrade, versus Jeff Jarrett, who, mind you, the day before was the special guest referee for the Usos Mysterio match.
Yep.
Or I'm sorry, Usos, the Usos match with Street Profits. So it's like Double J from TNA won. He beat McMahon.
Yep.
But, then so it's Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal. Now, if anybody's watched TNA Impact Wrestling, when Ric Flair was there, Jay Lethal and Ric Flair had their own little feud randomly. So this tag match was basically Black Machismo, baby. Oh, yeah. But so the match basically is Andrade versus Jarrett and Jay Lethal with a little bit of Ric Flair sprinkled in, and it was sad. It was sad to watch because he could barely move. He couldn't do any of his moves. He got banned from doing the off the top rope from his own daughter,
which I told you was going to happen. I was like, "There's no other way."
You did. We talked about it. We're like, "Nope."
There's no way there's no way they are going to let that fossil go off the top rope. There's no way.
No. And what's crazy about this pay-per-view is that Like front row was Mick Foley, Bret Hart, Undertaker, and then just if you see screen caps of it, you can see the look on Undertaker's face saying to himself, I'm glad I'm not doing that I won't do that anymore, and it's just they looked so sad for him, but yeah, I don't know. The match goes back and forth. It's real sluggish, and then it ends with Ric Flair putting the figure 4 on Jarrett, but pinning Jarrett with his arms down. But then Ric Flair's arms were down, shoulders were down too. The ref's like, let's get this over with. We're done. Match is over. Ric Flair wins. Cuts a promo. Says he's going to drink with Kid Rock. Everyone's very confused. It's okay.
So with that being said, Mark Calloway, I hope you're watching this. Terry Bollea, I hope you watch this too. Please don't have any ideas of walking y'all fossils down there and try to do the same thing, okay? Please don't, because no one wants to see it.
Please don't.
No one cares to see it. I know you guys are, guys are like legends, like Ric Flair. They have done a lot for this, done for wrestling, but still, just go to retirement home and enjoy your remaining years.
Please.
Yeah,
we're begging you.
Every once in a while, just show up at Comic-Con and charge $200 autograph.
Or show up to WrestleMania. Just maybe want to talk. That's it. But don't wrestle.
You know what's crazy? Obviously going back and if you could redo things with that match, if you could just redo it without looking back at it, you could have had Andrade versus Jay Lethal, Flair being in a corner, Double J being in the other corner, and then you could have just at that moment you could have had Flair. Flair could still did all his antics or whatever, and maybe got in the ring, throw his coat or whatnot, and, just do Flair things. Then maybe do some type of cheap stuff or whatnot. But if you can go back and redo it again.
Well, you actually brought up a good point. When Charlotte came to WWE, she had Ric Flair in the corner with him, and then she fought Natalya, and Natalya had Bret Hart in the corner. So basically, the match ended with Ric Flair doing the interference. Bret Hart does a sharpshooter to him, and then she's doing, you know what I mean? So it was like basically the same thing, and that would have worked. That was entertaining, But no, Ric Flair had to have his last match. So let's just hope it sticks this time, I guess. That's all. He is a legend, and that's why I still do give him respect. But it's hard when you see this happen, and then as wrestling fans are very passionate, and it's just we don't like seeing people like that. I'm not saying most people idolize, but they're heroes but people that we respected just fall apart.
It's like watching Superman. It's like watching Superman work at Family Dollar. You just don't want to see it.
No, it'd be very. You want to take pictures. It's like a car accident. You can't look away, but then you just have to keep on moving.
It's just it's and what they could have did was with that they could have just did anything. They could have just did anything else, or have it where you could even have Flair like referee the match. Well, no, because his old frail ass body wouldn't be able to get up and down like that. I don't know.
Hey, speaking of that, looks like we have another chat here from Will Hunter saying that it should have been Flair Sting or Flair Steamboat. Let me tell you, apparently Steamboat was asked. He flat out said no. And Sting is working with AEW right now, and I'm pretty sure he would have said no as well. But again, Steamboat definitely said no, but Sting being in AEW would have probably been a problem, but who knows?
Superman working at Family would be great for you. I ain't gonna lie, I'll pay $30 to watch that.
Yep, absolutely. I'm with you on that.
And then D-Town guy Taker could actually give a good standard match out of all of them. To a certain extent, I would say 10 years from now, don't know. Or they'll have to do another motion picture match. I'd rather see that.
I would rather see that. That would be fun. That would be a fun time right there, actually. Oh my gosh.
Because I mean, we never got the Sting. We never got the Sting match. So I mean, with that, they could have did that. But that's a whole nother. That's a whole nother day.
Oh yeah, we'll talk about that another time. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
But going through it with the wrestling, because it's 3 days of wrestling, the Raw after SummerSlam.
Yeah.
A lot of people were talking about online saying that this is one of like the first Raw that Triple H pretty much is in control of, as much as we all think. Again, we can only go by what's online, but we pretty much know based off of what we watched that there's a difference in the quality of the matches and what we're seeing from these wrestlers, and flat out, when you have a triple threat match with AJ Styles, Mustafa Ali, who's actually getting, a match on Raw,
he's getting TV time.
Yeah, and then The Miz put on a 4-star triple threat match on Raw. it was great. It was great.
What it is? What it is? It's like when your old manager finally gets fired. For after so many years, and then new boss comes in and says, "Hey, we're not gonna worry about the last guy. Listen, we're gonna move forward and let's see what you can do." And it's like you can tell, like as far as watching it, it was almost like everybody enjoyed coming to work.
That's the best way to put it. Everyone was hitting their moves good. They were not. It wasn't sluggish. You run into that kind of slow, kind of just movements, going through the movement, stuff like that. And that's what the whole show was. We kind of, they talked about it with before, but when Bayley shows up, she shows up with her new group with the newly renamed Io Sky or Io Shirai, right, and Dakota Kai. But then you see Bayley, and it's just wow. Oh, we love Bayley. I mean, come on. Who doesn't love Bayley?
I say a woman's built like the Renaissance building.
lots of pockets on herself, but I'll take it. I will take it.
I would say with the pockets, I mean, I'm just saying, Bayley, MJR is right down the street. For the matinee price $7, you can put the whole 7-Eleven in the pockets and you'd be good to go.
Absolutely. But yeah, all in all, the Raw was very good. You have Tommaso Ciampa winning, 2 matches and a match to go on to face Lashley again for a title next week. And you can't tell me that that's not Triple H influence there. I mean, oh my gosh.
And I'd rather actually, I'm actually looking forward to that match because unlike Austin Theory, who the crowd is, poised to hate with this match. Now you just got 2 wrestlers. They're going to go in this ring and see what happens. And we all know Ciampa can tear it up in the ring. And then
absolutely,
he's going against a big guy. And as far as watching NXT, I don't think I saw too many of his matches when going to Bobby Lashley size guys. Mm-hmm. It's mostly just been about pretty much like him,
Gargano when he had his matches with him. Yep.
Yeah, Gargano, let's say Adam Cole, those type of guys. Yep. But it's gonna be interesting to see how the 2 work together. As far as that goes, I mean, listen. At the end of the day, once again, I mean, even Ciampa woke up Monday morning and said it's a great day to go to work.
Oh, actually, a really good note here from the chat from Will. Michael Cole's commentary was completely different. Absolutely, because McMahon was not sitting there in his ear telling him what to say or listening to everything he was doing. I mean, Sauce we were talking about that a couple days ago and how he was on fire. It was insane.
And Hunter actually brings up a good point because I remember. Because for the longest, just Michael Cole, after a while, you just put the TV on mute. It was, I want to say it was at Japan when they had that Japan showdown. And
the Beast in the East special.
Yeah, and I remember, it was, I want to say it was Kevin Owens and Finn Balor. They was fighting for the NXT belt.
Yes. And, no, wait a minute. Was it them or was it who did Jericho face? Because I thought Jericho faced Kevin Owens. I might be wrong. I think you're right. I think it was because
I could be, but I just remember listening to Michael Cole talk, and I'm like, wow, so this is what he actually sounds like. Wow, okay.
Yeah, he did well, and anything's better than Byron Saxton, but that's just my opinion. That's all I got to say about that, But Oh, and let's see another chat here. Will, yep, I would sell a kidney for one night with Bailey. Yep, a few of us would do the same. Yeah, yeah. D-Town guy Jay, yep, Flair, a retirement home match. If it was in a real retirement home, I would watch it in a heartbeat.
So
I would
obviously,
watch it in a heartbeat.
obviously, Doc, this wasn't on the docket, but actually, downtown, let's say D-Town guy, Jay. I mean, I want to do a quick little segment here based off what we said. If you can have two wrestlers now in a retirement home, I say, who you booking?
Oh boy. Okay. All right. Let's see. I like this one.
Yeah, I say mine's off the top. It's gonna be Tony Atlas and Hillbilly Jim. Let's go. Book it, Triple H. Book it.
Book it. Yeah, book it because you know they're not doing anything. They're doing nothing right now. Oh my gosh. Oh man. Put me on the spot though. Okay. Let's think here. All right, I'll give you something. So I'd like to see. Let's see. I'm looking at more like who's actually like can't really move, but let's say Lex Luger versus Sid Vicious. Yeah, because they got their walkers, they barely can move here. They're shells of them, form of themselves. But yeah, I'd say let's do that.
And then a few more chats. So apparently, yeah, I think at this point it's not really a rumor. I think it's they announced it to different sources that they on their way back.
Yeah, I saw that.
I mean, I have mixed feelings on that, but I mean that's if the doctor cares to hear them.
Well, we talked about it before, especially with Sasha. Like I'm a Sasha Banks fan, but she's done this before already.
Yeah,
she's walked out.
Yeah,
took her ball, went home. So now she's gonna they almost have to make an example of her because if she just wants to do it again, are you going to allow her to do it again, or are you just going to hey, there you go, she's back? So I don't know.
I mean, at that point, because it's like, so now other people, if they feel like they ain't getting their way, they just, up and pick up the ball and just, leave for like, 3 months. And I'm hoping that Triple H at least sets an example. Like when she comes back, they just have a nice long talk. And then he needs to have a talk with the locker room and say, listen, we happy that, obviously some of y'all happy that Sasha's back, but going forward, this will not happen again.
I would say that's got to be what has to happen, and then just go forward. Like you said, just go forward, put on some great matches, and they'll be good to go. Oh, wait, are you buffering? Drink. We also...
Can you see me good? Are we good?
No, yeah, I can see you. I can see you. So we got another chair, Avery. So are we going to see Ciampa the throne and Lashley? I feel like I would like to see it, but I almost wish there was just some build up for it. Maybe build this up to the next show, the Clash at the Castle or such. That might work, but what do you think, Sauce?
So as far as that goes, I don't know. I thought so. I mean, their first match. I mean, if it's gonna be on Raw, I mean, well, so if you take the strap off of Bobby, then what is he going to do next? So
that's a good point.
I think that's a big thing. Obviously, Bobby doesn't really need a belt anyway, just because he's pretty much like, I want to say he's pretty much like the biggest top babyface on Raw. So I mean,
which is crazy coming from how hot his group was before, and he was a great heel, and now he actually can be a good face, and they're actually cheering him as opposed to when he first came back and you didn't care about him. So
I mean, I cared about his headband when he came back.
Oh my! Well, he was sweating. You got to sweat. We hope sweat immediately. We got a chat here from a D-Town guy. Can we see Bray as well? I just, never say never, honestly, because Bret Hart came back, but I just don't see Bray Wyatt coming back. I would love to see him come back. He was entertaining. I mean, even him and his Fiend gimmick, but I just feel like he doesn't want to. I think he needs to take care of his mental health situation first, because a lot of people don't. I mean, you're on the road, especially if you're a full-time wrestler, 300 plus days out of the year, especially if you're doing all the shows, the house shows, everything like that. So that takes a toll on somebody. You know, hell, AJ Styles, when he was champion, he wanted to lose the belt to Daniel Bryan for that reason, so he could be home more with his family. So even though he's obviously phenomenal, he's great. So see, Bray Wyatt, I feel like he's just gonna take like if he wants to wrestle, he'll take the company that'll give him the best option for a work schedule. I know it's not the best answer, but that's how I kind of look at it. So,
well, yeah, mental health is, in the time and place we are now in 2020, how important mental health is, because I know it was really due to, to Brody Lee, may he rest in peace. He passed away, and they was really, really close. So it's like he just couldn't. It's like he just wasn't mentally there. It's crazy because had we took mental health seriously, years ago, then who knows what would have happened with Canada Man. I'm not gonna say his actual name because he's a piece of trash, but Canada Man, the guy, that used to do the crippled crossface. I just call him Canada Man. But like when Eddie died, like, could have, like, imagine if they would have told Mr. Canada Man, go take some time off or whatnot, and we'll just leave it at that.
yeah, no, I hear you. Let's see, we have a couple more here. We got another chat from Will. A Butch should be unleashed at the castle. Well, first off, Butch, yeah, Pete Dunne, yeah, or not, yeah. It's just, it's sad. It's sad what they did to him. Just kind of threw him in with Sheamus, and and Ridge Holland. Ridge Holland is. I mean, we'll do it on another day for overrated wrestlers. Now he absolutely is. So, but Butch, I would like to see him. Yes, I hope he will be there. Let's see. We have another here for Apex. Does Cody's role change when he returns now that Triple H is in charge?
That's a good question.
That's a very good question.
I forgot all about that.
I feel like at this point, Cody came back to a great fanfare at WrestleMania, had his matches with Seth Rollins. I mean, worked his ass off with that torn pec. And he's still going to be wrestling. I think he's going to still be a top guy, when he comes back. But it'll just be interesting to see where he's at what do you think, Sauce?
So the reason why, once again, I have faith in Triple H, because, he puts business first. Let's just, not to derail off too much, let's rewind the clocks back a year. If Triple H would have took over around this time, I honestly think that even though they was beefed out, they didn't care for each other. CM Punk probably would have came back to WWE, because Triple H is like, listen, business first. I don't like, I don't really care for you. You don't care for me, but let's make money. And so with that going forth, I think it would have been saying, because all the shots and jabs that Cody Rhodes was taking, Triple H and I at the at the AEW shows. But at the end of the day, I think Triple H, like, listen, we're grown men. Listen, we lead at where you at your former employer. Let's get you to the promised land. Let's make money. Let's do business.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that makes perfect sense. I mean, look how many, like, if Triple H was in charge, like you said, during that time, CM Punk might have came. We wouldn't have lost, let's Adam Cole. No way. There's no Adam Cole would have still been here. Undisputed Era would have stayed. Just in a general sense, how many people were gone that AEW and other people have gotten, and and now apparently this was just announced over the weekend too, that the WWE is now going back to hiring independent wrestlers. So instead of which is a good thing, instead of just training people that have never wrestled into wrestlers, they're now getting established wrestlers. And to me, that's a very good thing.
Oh yeah. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, I still, they still should, obviously have wrestlers that they want to, people that want to come in and train, still have a performance center or whatnot. But you have a mixture of both. just don't get it to the point where you look at NXT 2 years ago, where it was like half the roster was like, independent pros. The other half just came off of the street working at Tim Hortons, and it was kind of weird at times, as far as like gelling. But obviously, I'm all for independent wrestlers. I'm all for local guys, getting their shot up, to the big times. But at the same time, don't forget about those who look like $1 million, and you could turn them into $1 billion.
Absolutely. There you go. Another chat here from Will Hunter. RVD has a good mental health program.
Yeah, he does.
Yes, he does. And also, he's got a good relationship with his wife and his girlfriend. Just, Google's your friend. You can find him there. He's a very lucky man.
So piggybacking off that real quick. Do you see now that Nick Khan and Stephanie is taking charge? Do you see them kind of laying off of like as far as like being more lenient as far as like weed and wrestling?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, absolutely. Like, to me, the fact that marijuana was part of their, that kind of protocol that they would give them a, suspension.
Yeah.
But it was ludicrous. I mean, especially when RVD won the title from John Cena at One Night Stand, everyone lost their mind. They knew what's going to happen. And then he, gets suspended, and it's like, but it was for weed. So, right. I mean, come on. Like it's like, they didn't want him to have the belt long, but they had to win it for at least a couple weeks. So
now, before probably knock out a couple more chats, do you have anything else on the list, Doc?
I mean, what? We pretty much covered everything that, I figured we talked about. But yeah, I feel like we did. This was a big wrestling weekend, so we had a lot to talk about with that. But, in general, we'll have, shows coming up, different topics to talk about here and there, kind of off the wall ones here. But, no, I think we pretty much got through everything that that we were talking about.
So as far as this week goes, was there any match that stood out to you that I guess it stood out to you is the best way to describe it?
I'd say it's hard to say. It's hard to say only because we watched the Raw yesterday, and honestly, that tag match with AJ, Mustafa Ali, and The Miz was it was fire. They were all clicking together. They had and it was just. There was good matches at the SummerSlam pay-per-view, but that match on Raw, it brought back good memories of having those good fire Raws where they're just so good.
Yeah, like for me, I'll probably say my match of the week. Probably it would have to go to Bianca and Becky. It's a reason why they started them off first.
Yep.
It's the redemption. It's the redemption match from last year. These two are pretty much in their prime, and like as a fan, I had no issues with it. I was good to go.
Let's see. We got the super chat. Actually, the WWE needs the ass boys to dethrone the Usos. Oh boy. We'll touch it next week when we have some more AEW stuff to talk about. Then we'll go into that.
Apparently, Dwight Howard. I didn't know if that was true or not, but apparently Dwight Howard did do tryouts.
Really? Yeah. I saw that. Oh no. Well, I didn't know that. Huh.
And then shout out to when they were talking about the weed and stuff, DDP. Yeah.
Oh, DDP. Let's see. So one of my belts here.
Speaking of
DDP.
Nice.
One of my favorite WCW champions, honestly.
as far as DDP goes, that man is a godsend for wrestling.
He really is.
Like, I wonder, like, so obviously Jay Lethal was working with Flair, getting moves across, but I think a good opportunity probably would have been to have DDP work with him as well. Get his body at least limber enough where he wouldn't look like a fossil walking around.
Actually at that pay-per-view too, Matt Cardona was there, the former Zack Ryder, and DDP came out and gave him the diamond cutter. It was great. It was just for no reason. It was great.
Actually, this match was probably the from D Town guy. This match, I would definitely say, is probably would be my runner up for like the match of the week.
Me too, actually, because what you talked about earlier with Montez
Yeah,
and his physique and his how he moved. He was a great. It was a great match. You almost thought he would win, but he looked good in a loss. He looked
like
good in a loss.
yeah. So obviously, he looked good. Now the interesting is going to be Dawkins when he wrestles Seth. I think that's going to be the most important match of his career because it's going to tell whether he's going to stay WWE as a singles, as a mid carder, or is he just going to be put in tag team, or is he going to end up working AEW Dark?
Oh Lord, and that's a whole nother topic for another day. I'll tell you that for sure. Speaking about Montez Ford and Dawkins, yeah, we kind of talked a little bit about it, but and it's all over the internet because you know how much dirt sheets are a thing. I don't know. What do you think, Sauce? I'm back and forth on it. I don't know. Like, what do you say if they're going to split up or when they're going to split up?
I can see them splitting up within the next. They will. I believe that they will because I mean Vince is already planted the seed. So, I would see. It's not a matter of if; it's just a matter of when. I can see it happening within probably the next month. Like they'll do their solo stuff here and there, and then they'll come back and team it up again. And then it's gonna be that moment where they enough is enough. Then bam, we get our split and we're good to go.
All right.
So we got another one.
All right. So I'll tell you right now with Bianca, I mean, the problem is she's so over right now as a face.
Yeah.
She could be a good heel,
Yeah.
but I feel like couples in wrestling they don't work.
No.
I mean, look at Seth and Becky. When the little bit they put them together, I mean, it was almost unwatchable to see the man and the man's man shirts and all this stuff. Like it wasn't bad to see that with Becky on her own, but then when they were together, they made each other worse. They made it was this, and so I don't want them to come out together in a couple like that because you don't see Naomi with the Usos. You don't see them with the Usos, but because she is on her own. I mean, she's not here now, but you know what I mean. Before,
I wonder, was there ever a point where she was like managing the Usos?
I don't remember if there was. I don't remember that. Maybe pre, like old style face paint. I don't.
That's a question. I really don't remember. But it was another point I wanted to make. Oh, Bianca. I'm actually glad as far as you mentioned Bianca heel because when I first saw Bianca, in NXT, it was heel. She was talking her ish. It was good. I was like, I can get behind this. And then obviously they turned her face when she came into the main roster. And I understand she sells merchandise, little girls love her, and whatnot. But I'm ready for that heel Bianca to come back because
whipping them with the hair, making some nasty welts and such.
Listen, heel Bianca, she was like a wrecking ball. She was like, as far as like Thanos when he was a wrecking ball, as far as on Earth against Avengers, that was Bianca.
That's true. But yeah, I mean, if pretty much that's I mean, unless you got anything else, Sauce, I think that's pretty much what we got for this week. The inaugural session of the Nuclear Heatwave Wrestling Podcast.
Listen, ladies and gentlemen, the doctor showed up. We Dr. Love. I say we all had an appointment with him today. I think he took care of our wrestling issue that we had. And all I can say is hope you guys stick around for more to come.
Yes. Thank you again for Tommy to allow us to be on part of your podcast family. And again, we'll Dr. Love here and Sauce Bronson. We will catch you next week.
All right, guys, be good. Bye.